Wow, what a day. So, all right, guys, I just got to first off say thank you to everybody that submitted for this one. As usual, you guys blew me away with the amount of work and hustle. I could definitely tell you guys really put a lot of hard work into this gig. So, seriously, again, I know I say it all the time, but I would like to be a broken record when it comes down to thanking you guys for the hard work that you guys really put into your work. Also into this group, into us as a collective collection of writers here. Obviously, the point of this gig is not only to nail it, but to really impress our new client here and hopefully open up the door to a lot more great opportunities in the future for all of us. So we're all basically winning when we all put in hard work. So thank you guys so much. So I have posted the tracks that I have forwarded along to the client, and you can find them right, I think, above me. Yeah. And so you guys can see, so congratulations to those of you that made it on to the final list. I will do another video probably tomorrow. I'm pretty spent today. This has been a pretty ridiculous day. I mean, I was composing in the morning and then towards the afternoon, kind of compiling tracks and just, putting in metadata. The new company wants us to be compiling some metadata for submission. So we're already doing that for them right now. So that's basically another added step of work that I had to do for this gig that normally I don't have to do actually for other companies. But it is what it is. Service industry. Got to help make their lives easier, right? So I'm a little bit spent, but we'll definitely do a debriefing on this gig tomorrow. And we'll talk more about some of the common issues why many of your tracks obviously did not make it onto this final list. There were only maybe 2 or 3 real common reasons. And the biggest one was just samples, just instruments. If you guys were trying to do an orchestral cue and the samples you sent me just sounded fake or childish or really kind of... just like it came from some Casio keyboard. That was pretty much what it was. You might have had some cool ideas melodically, but your samples certainly weren't selling it. Now, I understand some of these libraries are expensive. They're not cheap to get into them. So I understand that some of you guys are thinking like, well, geez, if I got to go fork out $1,000 or more to get myself a decent set of instruments, is this really something I could be competitive with if you don't have that kind of money laying around? So totally sympathize with you on that. But it's something to consider that you really might need to start thinking about saving up. If you can put a little bit of money away here and there, maybe at the end of the next month or 2 months, if you can kind of save on not buying that lunch every single day at work or not getting that cup of coffee on your way, or, a couple of things you can do to kind of cut some corners there and start investing in yourself seriously as a professional composer. You need the right tools. I mean, bottom line, it takes a little bit of money to get the right tools in front of you. So whatever you need to do, ask for a loan from family members, do some extra work, offer to do some, favors for people, hopefully legal ones, and whatever you got to do to maybe just stack up a little bit more of a useful sample library that you can actually go to. Because the one thing you definitely don't want to do is when you get a gig like this, go, oh crap, I got to go find some orchestral sounds. And then you start looking online, you want to download stuff, and you might rack up a pretty big chunk of money just trying to get something, and you don't really know how the sample library works yet. You haven't really experienced it. So, the big lesson, I guess, from this one is just also about just always be ready, so you don't have to get ready when there's an opportunity like this. You're already ready to go. For me, it took me a while to get the first track started. I won't lie. It took me about an hour or 2 before I was finally like, okay, now I think I'm on the right track. But once I was in the zone, I had my template, I had my sounds, I knew what I was working with. And then when it came down to starting my second one, I got into the same problem. I started in the wrong direction for an hour or 2. But then, of course, I just course corrected, zoom back out, tried it again, used the same template, pretty much the same sounds. I might have swapped out 1 or 2 things, but essentially it was the same kind of thing. And just tried, I upped the BPM, tried a whole different thing for my second cue. And you guys can check those out if you didn't below. I posted both of them so you guys can take a look at them. And then also tomorrow I will go over the winning tracks for sure, the ones that passed on to the client. So you guys can hear why their tracks were chosen, why they were strong enough that I felt they were strong enough to be passed on. So you guys can see that and maybe compare a little bit to your tracks as to why. I don't think I'll be able to get to everybody. I mean, I got so many tracks, you guys, of people that didn't make it forward. And honestly, most of them have the same issues. So I bet if I just sort of focus on the ones that got forward and talk to you guys about why they're working and why their samples are great and why the composition is working, most of you guys are going to be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out what it was about your track that wasn't quite going there. Okay, so but I definitely want you guys to get as much feedback as you can. Again, you know, I'm sorry that I was fairly brief and maybe a little curt with some of you on the email, because I just didn't have time to go into a lot of detail as to why I didn't feel like your track was the strongest or ready to go. So a lot of times I just give you a one sentence like, I don't like the horns, they sound fake, or those drums sound really loopy, do this, do that. You guys know that most of the time I'm a little bit more, I take more time with you guys, and obviously do these kind of review videos. You know, for this one, we had a short deadline. I don't have the time to go through all that kind of stuff, and I just had to get right to the point of like, all right, either your track is close and I need something, or your track is really off base, you got to go back to the drawing board, or you just replace all those samples, or at this point of your track it really falls apart, you really got to clean that up. So, you know, again, I'm sorry that I couldn't give you very specific, you sort of more of a you know, hands-on guidance on this one, but hope you can understand with the short deadline there's really not any time for that. But we're going to get back to getting more of that detailed feedback, and in fact this opportunity really showed me that we all need to really work on our orchestral skills, composing with strings and horns and marching instruments and that kind of thing. It's one of those things that a few of you have a handle on, but most of us, we don't really quite have yet. So I think that's going to be a really good, important thing that we kind of maybe in our homework assignments start working a little bit more to, you know, just polish up those skills, because getting good at orchestral stuff, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it doesn't mean you're always going to be required to do it, but you can always incorporate those into hybrid elements and that kind of thing. So we want to make sure that we're really good at that stuff. So again, guys, you know, this was it was a lot of fun. I'm still excited right now. I am beat and I'm totally worn out, but this is what I do this for. So I hope you guys are having fun with these opportunities. I know they might be a little stressful and you feel like you're under the gun and you got to perform, but there should be a part of it that's fun, that you're really enjoying it, and you're kind of seeing your music come to life even through these visuals. You can kind of almost see it like right in front of you. It's really cool. I think it's a lot of fun, especially when you have a visual, a commercial to score to. So I have a blast with this, and if you're not having fun, you're probably doing it wrong. That's what I always say. So stay tuned. We'll do some more debriefing tomorrow, including we'll talk more about the next homework assignment. I know I was going to post that, but this gig came up, so this is taking priority. So we're going to get back into our regular swing of things. I know the last couple of days have been kind of chaotic with all the custom things that have been going on, but hey, you guys are getting the full real world experience here, right? You're getting library experience. Now you're getting custom cue stuff, custom job stuff. So you guys are seeing everything. So again, thank you so much. Have a great night. You know, have a glass of wine, unwind, whatever you need to do, and get ready for tomorrow. We'll do another video and another debriefing.